Now we're going to look at how to back up a disk if your computer is running Windows XP. The first thing to do is we go to the Start menu, we click on that, and then All Programs. And All Programs, then we go from All Programs we go to Accessories and System Tools, and in there you'll find the backup icon. So you just click on that to open it. So once it's open, we just click on Next. We want to back up our files and settings, so we click Next. And we want to click up My Documents and Settings, so basically we're just following the default so far. Now what we need to do is pick the disk where we're going to back it up. So we're going to browse to find the disk, and the disk is going to be called Intensio. So we're going to look for the Intensio disk, click on that, and save. And now that means that everything will be backed up to the Intensio disk. You can change the name of the backup, but it's just defaults the backup, doesn't really matter. Whatever you want to call it, you can put there. Then we hit Next. Now before we finish, if we had finished now, what it would do is it would back up the computer exactly as it is now, but it wouldn't set up anything to back up in the future. And what we want to do is set it up so that it'll automatically do this from now on and you don't have to do it again. So we click on the Advanced options. Now we change one of the defaults here. The backup type Normal means it'll keep on backing up every single thing every single time. Whereas if you select Incremental, that means it'll back up just the bits that have changed. So if you haven't changed, if you've only changed one file, it'll only back up that file, and it means the whole thing will be done a lot quicker than backing up everything every single time. So use Incremental is the best choice to use there. We select Next then, and you can ignore these options. If you're really worried about your backup, you can hit Verify Data after backup, but as it should be safe every time, but that's up to you. It takes longer to do that, but it's entirely up to you if you want to choose that option. So we hit Next, and again we're going to append this. We're just going to leave the default option here, append this back up to existing options, and hit Next again. So what we want to do now is, when do you want to run the backup? We want to do it later because we want to set up a schedule. So we're going to call the job name, we can call it anything, but we'll call it backup time, just so we know what it is if we ever need to find it later. So we're going to set that schedule. The task is, I would recommend backing it up weekly. You could back it up daily if you want it, but the backups can take quite a long time. It would put a lot of pressure on your computer, so I would recommend backing it up weekly. The other thing to remember is pick a time that the computer will actually be on. There's no point in picking a time like 3 o'clock in the morning, because it won't affect your work, because if the computer's off, then it's not going to be able to do its backup. So probably maybe pick a time where you might be at lunch, or you know that you'll be generally in meetings at a particular time. So we'll say just 1 o'clock on a Monday, and we can then just hit OK at that. So it's going to, at 1 o'clock now, every Monday, this particular computer will back up, will run a backup automatically by itself. So we hit OK to that. Now we have to just put in our password here. That's the normal AD password you use to log into the computer. And now it's almost ready to run. We hit Next. Again, we'll do the same password again. And we finish. And now that backup will run at that particular time. Now, in the meantime, if you wanted it to run before that, just to start the very first backup, before that, you go into your control panel. You could go to the schedules, and here the schedule tasks, and you'll see that backup time, that job has been saved and it's going to run at Monday at 1 o'clock. But we can run it in advance of that if we want to back up everything straight away for the first time and then let it run after that. So we can right click on that and just hit run, and what that'll do, it'll just start it running now rather than waiting for the time to run. So that's what you can see as a backup. It will take quite a long time, especially if the first backup might take an hour or two, which you can use the computer while it's backing up, but it'll probably run a bit slower than normal while all the backup is happening. So that's how to back up on Windows XP. The only other thing to remember is when you change your AD password, that will probably cause the job to stop because it'll have the wrong password. So you might just need to go back into the scheduled tasks to change the password, or it might ask you to change the password at that time. So just remember to do that.